Marquinhos, the one speaking to his fellow Brazilian there. It is actually Richarlison that picked up the book in there, not Pape Sarr. My mistake. Richarlison kicking the ball away as the referee went over, and he might have actually saved Sarr. Accidentally sacrificed himself. So first caution of the game. Tottenham's number 9. PSG back underway nice and quickly here with Kvaratskhelia inside the Spurs half of the field. Good little pop round the corner for Hakimi, rampaging forward from right back. Cleared away on the penalty spot by Romero. Gathered in by Desiree Doué, and for a foul there, Marquinhos. His hands all over Kudus. Sign of those anticipated PSG changes just yet. First time so far tonight, just telling Cardio to get on with it from a set piece. He's way out of his goal here to take this one, the Italian, and he'll put that right up towards the edge of PSG's penalty. Good win from Kudus. Cleared away by Marquinhos. To the halfway line and nodded back forward. Vitinha immediately put under pressure there. Brilliant from Pape Sarr. It's too strong for the PSG technician. Link again here with Pedro Porro, who's gone down inside the penalty area. He's appealing for a penalty. Referee says nothing for now. May get pulled back. Porro burst past Sarr there after that initial tussle. Back on his feet, Pedro Porro, but he's still appealing for a penalty, and PSG are not hanging around here. It's up to the edge of the Tottenham penalty area now. Dancing feet there from Desiree Doué. Actually catches Richarlison, who got back in there to help out, and Bradley Barcolla's going to have his name taken here. They're starting to crackle and pop. Porro's going to chase it back after the referee to make an elongated case for a penalty there. Clear foul from Desiree Doué. Richarlison back in there to do some of the dirty work inside his own penalty area, and frustration from Desiree Doué, and being shown a replay of that Pedro Porro incident. There's too much in it as Nuno Mendes got back at him. Forward by Vicario. Smashed back into the Tottenham half of the field there, and Kvaratskhelia will Jed Spence under some pressure here. Spence actually looked as if he'd won the tackle there, but goes for a foul against him. Players just need to keep themselves in check here now. Space in front of him to go for the 1-2 with Kvaratskhelia. Good work though from Jed Spence, who gets back on the edge of his own box, reads it, goes down, wins the foul. Kvaratskhelia just waves away there by the referee. Clever management of situations by Tottenham here. You can see the PSG increasingly rattled. Take the sting out of those dangerous situations and advance the game, try and get that clock pushed on a little bit further. Carlos rep ball forward again, back quickly by PSG. Nacho has his pocket picked there by Pape Sarr. He's pulled him down. Play on, says the referee. And that is going to be a card for the Ecuadorian international. Clear foul as Pape Sarr was razor sharp in behind him there. 25-30 yards from goal, slightly left of centre, and he's done that brilliantly all night. Pape Sarr popping up in the back pocket of PSG players and winning possession in really, really important areas for Thomas Frank. No complaints from Pacho. Chevalier's got a free kick to defend here. three-man wall here. He's within shooting range for Pedro Porro if he fancies his chances. James Maddison, of course, on free kick duty for Tottenham. He's expected back in action until the start of 2026 after a nasty knee injury during pre-season. Porro goes for it. Just flies past the post. Take a nick off the wall on the way through. Corner to Tottenham. Doué in the middle of the three-man blockade. Just catches him on the back of the head, and that'll be a corner to Tottenham. Right in front of the thousands of white-shirted supporters who've made the trip from London. Second trip to the continent this year, or rather in the last few months, is, as it stands, on course. Back-to-back trophies. Porro with the corner, near post headed away by Vitinha. Steady there from manages to get it back to Spence, who'll just hoist that over towards Mendes at left back for PSG. Frank now has also ushered some of his substitutes back from warming up, so changes from both bosses, you'd imagine. Tick over the hour mark. Sarr and Palhinha there, slamming the door on Vitinha inside the centre circle. They've worked well this evening. The defensive axis of Frank's team, Kvaratskhelia, probably going to be his last warning as he gets across and fouls Mickey van der Ven, who's trying to clear. It's going to be the first change of the night for PSG, and it is Kvaratskhelia. Fabian Ruiz, the player brought on. Might be a change in shape from PSG. Fabian Ruiz will win to the field with Vitinha. Right inside, and so Emery closer to Ousmane Dembele. 30 minutes on the clock here. Tottenham with a 2-goal lead. For any sort of fluency, it's almost unrecognisable. We mentioned they were caught short a little in the Club World Cup final, but this is a similar pattern so far. Just telling Kevin Danzo to get on with it as a throw in for Spurs down the left. Just in front of the penalty. He'll held that into the mixer again. Marquinhos goes up, half cleared away, knocked down by João Palhinha, bounces at the far post, another chance for Spurs. Big save from Lucas Chevalier. Kick is eventually called as Yunus collides with Mendes. Chevalier didn't know that. Spread eagled himself at the far post there to make a really important save. Sat up nicely for Sarr, I think, who final touches. Chevalier just bounced it away. Spurs' card there, that was cynical. Far side from Kevin Danzo. The ball went out for a throw-in PSG's favour, just over the halfway line, and he helped it, shall we say, into the crowd. Self-booking. Fabian Ruiz, first touch for him. More touch though from Bradley Barcola. Just holding firm on changes for the moment. Balancing act in this type of situation. It is a much cliche, dangerous lead to have. Actually turn it on. Devastated on front. We're all too aware of that, and that is brilliant from Rodrigo Bentancur. Covered 30-40 metres there to get across the middle of the pitch and skied in and win the ball off Achraf Hakimi. Real united front from Tottenham here. Pulling together, buying into what the new manager wants right from right from the off. Tries to dink that into the penalty area, laid down by Hakimi. Can it fall here? Big chance for PSG. Blocked. What a bit of defending that is from Mickey van der Ven. And the offside flag eventually goes up against PSG player Warren Zaire-Emery, with the best chance of the night for PSG, 7 yards out. That little floated ball from the left-hand side from Vitinha. Hakimi knocks it back into his path. Hakimi's the one that's offside in the end. Van der Ven, who was already on the ground with Vicario flapping, sticks up a big leg and gets it in front of Zaire-Emery. It's a massive round of applause from his manager on the sideline, and that's what you want to see. Don't wait for the offside flag. Don't take any risks in that type of situation. Stoic defending from the Dutchman. Effective at both ends tonight for Frank. Gets back on the way with the throw in their left back spot. Spence over the halfway line up to Richarlison. He's forced backwards. Van der Ven on the halfway line. Danza, Romero, back to Danza. PSG just trying to go man for man here with Tottenham as they play it across their own back line. Danza will back to Vicario. Over the halfway line again. Lovely take by Kudus. Great strength there. Just backs into William Pacho. Really good debut from him. £5 million, I think, was the eventual fee that they paid West Ham to bring him. Who's been very, very effective on the other side of the capital. I imagine Thomas Frank can mould and pick up a level or two. As far as the play forward here is take a nice ball down inside the box. Not behind for a corner. Again, it's laid offside flag. This time against the Tottenham player. PSG's ball. 25 minutes to go here at Energy Stadium, north of Italy. Champions League holders PSG, who are trailing 2-0. Tottenham Hotspur. Big night in Bilbao. Just about to be matched up. Cracking evening. Again. PSG can foot forward now down the left with Marker. Bit of space just to check in on that right foot. That's what he wants to do. Rolled across the edge of the box. Eventually to Desiree Doué. He wants to get it on his left. Can he find? Big save from Vicario. Falls kindly. Great save. Blocked again. Barcola. Goal for PSG. And the Spurs players appeal for offside and they get it. There was Tottenham bodies strewn all over the 6-yard box there. As PSG had 2-3 bites of the cherry. Doué initially just fizzes that low. Great stop from Vicario. Then Fabian Ruiz. That's where the offside flag is up. Checks in from Porro. Blocked. Falls to Barcola. Blasted beyond Vicario. The offside call is correct. Nothing is going PSG's way tonight. Tottenham are throwing everything in the way here. Themselves in front. It's taken from Badly. Barcola just squeezes it into the bottom corner as Vicario tries to get down low and keep it out. There's going to be a change here. That is Bradley Barcola's last impact of the night. Off the field there as he's placed. Check on the substitution there because Warren Zaire-Emery is also going off. So double change. Lee Kang-in is on. So like for like substitutions. Gets his back underway. Barcola, Zaire-Emery off. Kang in. Get confirmation on that other substitute just a second as we back underway here. Race down this near right hand side. It is the substitute who's just come on that's managed to force a corner from Jed Spence and by. Actually, he's happy to give that corner. Nice and consistent. Goal kick to Spurs. here. Archie Gray is stripped of ready for action for the last 20 minutes. Protecting possession again from Mohamed Kudus. That ball forward from Vicario. Go-to guy numerous times tonight, and Tottenham needed someone to protect the ball. Richarlison's not been great at it in the most part for all of his good defensive work, tracking back and helping the Spurs midfield and the defenders. Kudus that's dragged them up the field and allowed them to create those dangerous moments that they've got goals from as a result. It's Kang in Lee. Pushed really far up here down this right hand side, and the two substitutes have linked up here. By to the byline, laid away on the edge of the 6-yard box by Romero. She will come again though. Kimi, Kang, switched over to the left hand side now with Vitinha. She's just trying to step the tempo up a little bit here. Fabian Ruiz wriggles away, off into the box but headed away. Alisson can't quite keep possession for Tottenham. PSG have got Spurs pinned back right on the edge of their own penalty area here as Vitinha tries to prick and flick his way on the white wall of Spurs players, and cross shot from Fabian Ruiz will just bounce into the grateful gloves of Vicario. Himself there, back into Chevalier. Takedown inside the centre circle. Runners either side of him here is actually trying to move up through the gears. Chevalier with the loose touch. Fizz out far side to a PSG player. Nuno Mendes will pick it up. Kang in late. Keane pressed up to the edge of Spurs' penalty area. PSG right back. Again, just managing to force PSG back in field. Through the legs. Roll to Dembele. Past the post from the Frenchman. Great chance in a similar situation in the first 45 minutes. Put back from the dead ball line. Yards out, just next to the penalty spot. Guided into the bottom corner, but he gets it all wrong and just diving for show there. Top changes. Archie Gray and Dominic Solanke. Straight swap for Solanke up top for Spurs. Players also just being ushered to the side of the pitch for a hydration break. Solanke and Gray are on. Richarlison and João Palhinha off. 18 minutes of normal time remaining here. The experience of seasoned operators in the squad. Romero, man for the first time officially for Tottenham tonight, got himself a captain's goal. The 2-0 advantage and clear blue water between themselves and PSG that was needed, but I'd say they're going to need them defensively in the final throws here. They haven't really gone for the throat so far, but attacking capability that they've got. Those changes now. Carlo Ramos on the bench as well if chooses to throw him on. Wait. Should break over. Just had his final warning from the referee over time wasted. Head that on. Direction of Kudus. Side there. stat just kilometres of distance ran more than PSG tonight. Doubted in that based on the nature of the performance from Thomas Frank's team. Back. Spencer Sarr. Over to the left hand side. Vitinha, Ruiz. PSG Navy minus Chevalier. Pushed into the half of the field. Kang In Lee tries to feed that one through the lines. Pape Sarr with the challenge. Decision in favour of him here. Spurs back in their left back position. So, two candidates for man of the match here. Not on the score sheet. Van der Ven and Romero. They're due to get the back, but Sarr suffocated that all-star PSG midfield, and Abikudis on his debut for Thomas Frank has very, very assured in the pocket behind Richarlison, and now Solanke. A raid on here down the right-hand side. Porro just quite sharp enough to get there before Mendes. 15 minutes remaining here. PSG still to strike a blow against Spurs. Ruiz has got acres of space in front of him here, raiding over the halfway line. Just left of centre, forced to check to Kang In Lee. Now and by. Jed Spence on the back foot for Tottenham. Kimi motoring forward from right back here to lend a hand. PSG bodies to edge the other side of Spurs defenders when PSG shirt has got the ball and trying to slip it through. Pele's been really, really well shackled this evening by Mero, Danzo and Van der Ven. Disciplined performance all round from Tottenham so far. But get Jed Spence to bite here. He doesn't. Falls back 5 yards out to Vitinha. Drifted over to the left-hand side now as Zere Doué takes up a new position. Just the curl one into the box, headed away by Bentancur. Pacho on the halfway line. Full court press from PSG. Look, resilient in what they're trying to do here. Well, arc one in from the right hand side and float all the way out to Zere Doué. Back up here from Pacho. Mendes. Past Pedro Porro, but he can't quite manage it. Spanish right back wins himself a free kick for his efforts. Seen that quite a few times from Spurs this evening. They've won possession, just get your body in position. We're in a foul. Break up the game a little bit. 2 minutes a chance to reset. Even just exited over on the far side. Goncalo Ramos is on. Do something. Make a fist of it. The final 10 minutes or so here. Something to battle for. Season away for Thomas Frank as Tottenham boss. He'll start on Saturday for his European champions. Of course, back in the big time under Scott Parker. Sunderland back in the Premier League after for a decade away. Leeds United under Daniel Farke will be an opponent for many a side going to Elland Road this season. Yeah, just pops that through the legs of Hugo Bentancur. Ball into the feet of Carlo Ramos, cleared away. Hard bit easy. It's a bit badly there. the story of PSG's night, just quite cohesive enough. It's enough when Spurs are batten down the hatches. Now, off the ball over to the right hand side. Dembele will get Spence on the back foot, but it's dealt well with by Spence. Taken here. Hakimi's got space. He'll go first time into the box, but it's hacked away by Van der Ven. Into PSG. And this right hand side, just in front of the corner flag. So they're going to make a change though before they can take this. It's the end of Mohamed Kudus' evening. Very, very eye-catching, shifty Ghanaian. Thumping high five off his manager and a big applause from the Spurs fans in behind that far goal. Drifts that one to Vitinha, who go from distance. Flashes well over the top of Vicario's goal. To the final 10 here now. Tottenham fans who weren't quite sure what to expect from Frank's Tottenham this season. Very impressive performance here tonight. Signings made. Kudus, Marlene on loan. Danzo is now a permanent fixture. Matthias Tell as well. Some more to come as well before the league transfer window slams shut on the 1st of September. Change of pace over on that far side. Can PSG get a ball into the box? Up. Back. Just PSG once more away from the top penetrating. Working quickly to left to right. Vitinha into Dembele. Foul there on Vitinha. Chang in. Final contact. It's hard to tell. He was tearing back there to try and help out. Shoves the Valencia man in the back. This is an opportunity for PSG. 8 minutes remaining. Kick right, smack bang on the edge of Cardio's 18-yard box. Perfect for a left footer here to swing this one. Funny for me to question this Enrique. Somebody has to have a go here. Kang, keep standing over it. Keep me the right footer. So I fancy his chances a little bit more than Kang. It's Kang to go for it into the wall. Falls for Hakimi. Spurs player down inside the box here, and the referee immediately goes over. Porro, hands on his face here. Just take that smash from Kang in Lee, right in the side of the jaw. Most of the chance to get it. Water on board. Final stages. Pedro Porro is helped back up to his feet by his Spurs teammates. Supplying the letter of the law for head injuries, and Spurs medics will come on just to check him over here. Happy Bunny on the PSG bench. Decision to make in the next couple of weeks over with Gianluigi Donnarumma, an Italian, to have a future at the Parc de France. He's firm as ever in his assessment that Chevalier is the number one for him this season. Into the final year of his contract and potentially for a new challenge. Could that be in the Premier League? Space. PSG again, this time down the left-hand side. Smashed away this time by Bentancur, right in front of Guillermo Vicario. Spurs are holding firm here. Down to 10 as the medical staff try and get the referee's attention to get Porro back on, and back on he is. Hands to the pump here to stop PSG getting something to give themselves hope. Yeah, leads to the byline. Can he hang across in? Blocked. Line for a corner. It's the crowd to give it back to him. It's the PSG fans that he's asking. Held over there. PSG to take the corner. Coutinho to take. 5 minutes of normal time remaining. Whatever the officials decide to add on here. Coutinho goes near post. It's a poor effort and nodded away for a throw-in by Porro. Hand of apology there. PSG. Big hitters have stayed forward for the moment. Marquinhos is still in there. Pacho has jogged back as the covering defender. Imagine now that Marquinhos will stay forward as a centre forward for the remainder of this game. Bele from the right hand side, whipped in. Really important header there by Romero. Moving to the edge of the box. Kang In Lee will drive one. Goal for PSG. Chance for PSG, and the Tottenham resistance is finally broken with 5 minutes to go. Really nice bit of invention there from Vitinha as the clearance fell to him on the edge of the box. Just dinked it to his left hand side, and Kang In Lee keeps it down, bullets it into the bottom corner, and the Tottenham nerves will jangle now. The PSG have had easier chances than that all night. It's a really smart finish from the substitute. PSG now can fight for this. This is a test of Thomas Frank and Tottenham's mettle. A few minutes away from a trophy. A few minutes away from dragging this game to an unwanted penalty shootout. Frank is going to make another change rather. Lucas Bergvall ready to come on, but does have a throw-in for the moment here on the left-hand side, midway inside the PSG half, and Danzo is going to repeat his trick, get this into the PSG penalty area. Marquinhos comes out in front, but it's headed away by Gonçalo Ramos, and Porro there. What looked like a push in the back on a PSG player. No foul, says the referee. Just let play on. To get Lucas Bergvall on here to try and disrupt the PSG flow, and switch over on that far side from Nuno Mendes. Good work there from Porro. He's hassling back over the halfway line to give him a moment's rest. Hurl that into the PSG half. Good strength from Solanke. Back by Nuno Mendes. Vitinha wants it on the edge of PSG penalty. Solanke will drive himself back into the Tottenham half. Matthias Tell alongside him. Frank's going to need his two substitute strikers to do their bit in defence now. The 87-minute mark. So, defensive header right in front of his own penalty area. Smashed downfield there by Solanke. Anywhere will do at this stage. Shown resilience all night, Tottenham. To do it a little bit longer. Van de Ven, Romero, Danzo back in position on the edge of Spurs' penalty area, just across the D. Spence and Porro will do the hassling and harrying out wide. Big result for Spurs if they can get it over the line. Like this, just a one-off game, are sometimes downplayed, but manager, the team who ended the domestic season very, very poorly, got that all-important European trophy, their spot in the Champions League and their place here tonight. Just need to hang on a little bit more. Corner to PSG though. Dembele will come to take on this right hand side. Hurled in towards the penalty spot. Just flashes past Marquinhos. Mendes will have a blast. Blocked and over the bar. Solanke back in position there. Potentially flying into the back of the net. Vicario was dive bombing over to his left-hand side. Romero has gone down injured here for the moment. Referee just telling the PSG players they will be adding all of this up. Adding it on to the plus 90-minute total. Dembele take two with a corner. Reaches the near post this time. Actually just helped out of Spurs' penalty area by Matthias Tell. Coutinho will take over. Options left and right. Goes left to Mendes. He'll take Danzo on to the byline. He's gone down here. He's claiming that he was pushed to the floor there by Kevin Danzo. Referee says no. Goal kick to Spurs is the decision. Get the card out here for Ousmane Dembele, who's got over to scream for a penalty. Been his night, the PSG talisman. João Pinheiro just saying that he got his word in his ear that it wasn't a foul, as he tries to steam away from Kevin Danzo. And now, tick 90 minutes to see Lucas Bergvall. Energy for the final seconds. And Pape Sarr is the man replaced. Man of the match for me tonight. Excellent in the Tottenham engine room. Ran and battled and won every tussle that he's needed to. Of course, we're hoping that whilst introduction doesn't impact their flow. For added time goes up. 5 minutes additional here. Standing still for the nervous Spurs fans. To our right hand side, behind Elmo Vicario's goal. Again here, reiterating his position that every second will be counted, and it is 6 minutes of additional time. That was an update from the fourth official. It was 5. Signalled by the hand of João Pinheiro. 6 on the board. Already played one of those 6. Tottenham just want to get possession of the ball into the PSG half, far away from their goal as possible. Coutinho fizzes that one forward. I will put Otto under a bit of pressure, but he did well there, the Spanish international. Smacked it away. Mendes to chase back at left back. Coutinho again inside the centre circle. Spurs, everybody back behind the ball. Tell Solanke shielding that PSG defence, and Spence each game at left wing back is quick into the tussle there to win that off. Hakimi. Tell concedes the foul. 2 minutes, the 6 added gone have been played. 4 to go for Tottenham fans here and listening along to sit through. Try and make this as less agonising as possible. It's Kang In Lee right on the edge of Spurs' penalty area, just to the right hand side. Spence forces him infield. Pressure from Tell, and then Bergvall sees it over to the PSG left with them by Mendes. Fabian Ruiz will try an angle across him, blocked off though by his fellow Spaniard Pedro Porro. Marquinhos now midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. Everybody push forward into the Tottenham final third really here. Hakimi just gets that taken off his toe by Rodrigo Bentancur, the player who's ran his legs off tonight for Tottenham. Difficult couple of years through injury for the Uruguayan to establish himself as a key player for Thomas Frank this season. Tonight, alongside João Palhinha and Pape Sarr. He tries to get a cross in again from the right hand side, but once more Jed Spence sticking to his task, gets a boot in, gets the block. The dip and swerve on that one eventually finds its way out to Bay on the left hand side. Cuts in field, roll to Marquinhos. Thought about the shot. Thought again, the PSG captain Dembele to the byline, driven in and headed home. Gonzalo Ramos has equalised for PSG at the death. Fabian Ruiz dashes over to celebrate. He had a concerned look on his face for a moment there, Fabian Ruiz, as if to say, was that offside? Was he offside? Was Ramos offside? Ramos is off celebrating. A big, big goal from the substitute. And Tottenham from 2-0 in front have been tied in the 4th minute of additional time. This now might be checked. Fabian Ruiz, when the ball was played to Dembele, was offside. He wasn't offside when the ball came in from Dembele. Neither was Gonzalo Ramos. No doubt from the PSG number 9. Lovely ball from Dembele right onto the head. Gonzalo Ramos just stoops there in front of Kevin Danzo, 5 yards out. Bullets it past Vicario. Tottenham, who've been hanging and holding on here tonight, will face penalties. Just over a minute of the 6 added on to go. Thomas Frank to rally his troops here. Momentum, I have to say, will be with PSG going into those penalties, and resilience they've shown been deserved. Tottenham have worked their socks off for this. PSG have not been anywhere near the level that we associate with them, but stayed in the game. Really assured finish from Kang-In Lee. Another of Luis Enrique's changes, sending this game to spot kicks. Gonzalo Ramos, the Superman off the bench many times last season. Regular starter for PSG. In the Champions League, Dembele through the middle, and combination of Dubé, Kvaratskhelia, Barcola out wide as chosen formula for the former Barca man. And those Dembele and Ramos should fancy to take a penalty here. Pick themselves up, find a way, snatch back the trophy that has been snatched away from them here. Dembele will float one into the box here, and Ramos has gone to ground. Half-hearted claim for a penalty there. Just went down on his haunches as Tottenham clear it away, and managers here have the notepads out a moment or two to prepare for penalties, and I've got a man down here as we go over the 6-minute mark. It's Romero. Just need to stretch out because would be a candidate to take a penalty. All over the face of Thomas Frank. Time added on at the end of time added on, but that is it. The final whistle has blown and we are going to penalties in northern Italy. Tottenham 2-0 up at the start of the second half. First half goal gave them the advantage. Vicky van der Ven and then Christian Romero just after the restart seemed to have them home and hosed. But this is a team of Champions League winners under the tutelage of Luis Enrique. He came in off the bench, bulleting PSG back into it. And then Gonzalo Ramos in the dying seconds with the equaliser. And we are all set for penalties to decide the 2025 UEFA Super Cup. We're going to take a very short break here on Flashscore. Not go anywhere. We'll be back in 3 minutes' time. in Italy. Just taking a quick glance over recent penalty records, it certainly does favour PSG. They beat Liverpool on spot kicks at Anfield last season en route to winning the Champions League. 4 taken, all scored. Vitinha, Ramos, Dembele, Doué, all in a position to take a penalty tonight. Tottenham's record not as positive, with 2 wins in their last 6 penalty shootouts. However, their only penalty shootout in a European final did end in success. Way back in 1984, they beat Anderlecht 5-4 on spot kicks. So history is on Spurs' side. Recent history is on PSG's side. And it is Tottenham in front of their own fans here at the Blue Energy Stadium that will get us underway. Both sets of players, of course, shoulder to shoulder on the halfway line. The Spurs coaching staff led by Thomas Frank linked up. And it is Dominic Solanke, first taker for Tottenham, brought on late by Thomas Frank, not probably with penalties in mind, but he is the first man entrusted up against Lucas Chevalier. Solanke for Spurs, cool, calm, collected, and slots it home. Chevalier goes to his left, guesses right, it's in the corner from Solanke. Perfect start for Tottenham, just above Chevalier's grasp. Cheeky question here might be the giant frame of Gianluigi Donnarumma kept that one out. Take anything away from Dominic Solanke though. Vitinha first up for PSG. Can he repeat the trick from Anfield Champions League at the start of 2025? It's a straight run up from the Portuguese international. Spurs fans doing their best to distract behind the goal. Stuttered little run up from PSG's number 17, and he rolls it past the post. He's missed. Too clever. And Vicario had committed himself to his right. Vitinha went the other way. He's gone too far outside the post to get it back in. And it thuds against the advertising boards. Advantage Tottenham. Enrique stares at the ground after his team have hauled themselves back into this. They're on the back foot once more. Rodrigo Bentancur steps forward for Tottenham. Right-footed. Short run-up for Spurs' number 30. Chevalier bouncing up and down on his line. Bentancur fires home. Chevalier again, going right this time. Guesses right. Power from Bentancur beats him. It's over for the double high-five with Vicario. Save here from the Italian. But Tottenham right back in the box seat. It is the hero of normal time for PSG, Goncalo Ramos, who steps forward next for PSG. Got to score to swing them back into this contest. Slow run up from Ramos, he passed it down the middle. PSG are off the mark in the shootout. Choice words for the Spurs fans behind that goal, they won't care too much. Vicario plunges to his right and Ramos dead-eye. Goes for power. Splatters it down the middle. PSG are back in it. Still advantage Spurs though. Van de Ven steps forward. Third taker for Tottenham. Scored a breakthrough goal in the first half. Can he do it again? Saved by Chevalier! The Frenchman guesses right for the third time, and this time he pours away Mickey Van de Ven's spot kick, smashes it low to the right. Not a great penalty in truth. The Chevalier gets down there, 2 hands on it. On the replay, it's not a good look for Van de Ven. And we are level. If Ousmane Dembele could score here, provided the assist for Ramos' equaliser, can he get PSG back on parity in the shootout? Jogs onto his right foot and rolls it into the bottom corner. Sends Vicario the wrong way. And we are 2-2 from the spot. 2 penalties remaining. Both sides. Really, really well taken penalty by Dembele. Just waits for Vicario to go right. Opens up his body. Steers it into the opposite corner. Fourth taker for Spurs here. One of their substitutes, Matthias Tell. Just like Solanke, brought on late. Not necessarily to go and win the game for Spurs, but to lead the defensive resistance from the front. The permanent switch this summer from Bayern Munich. Can he make himself a hero in front of those Tottenham fans behind the goal? Stuttered run up, waits for Chevalier, and he's miscued it! Oh my word, what a miss! Chevalier almost dived past his left-hand post, and with the whole of the rest of the goal to aim at, Tell has fired it wide. Just like Vitinha, he's overthought it when the advantage was with him, and he's missed, and the pendulum swings back for PSG. And Tottenham need their own Italian number one here to produce something. What a cracking end to this game. Tottenham look plain sailing. PSG dragged themselves back into it. And their other goal scorer here stepped forward for spot kick number 4, Lee Kang-in. Cool, comfortably puts it past Vicario. And it's all on Tottenham's final taker here now to keep them in the final. Technique that from Lee Kang-in. Puts it low to Vicario's bottom right-hand corner. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way. Pedro Porro. This needs to hit the back of Chevalier's net for Tottenham to stand any chance of lifting the trophy that they look to have one hand on less than 20 minutes ago. Porro against Chevalier. Tottenham need a hero here. Can it be Pedro Porro? Short run up from the Spaniard. Waits and he slots it into the top corner. Brilliantly done. Right under pressure. And he's straight over to Vicario. This is where Tottenham need their goalkeeper. It would be on Achraf Hakimi here. For PSG's last penalty. Just wait on that one. Real nerves of steel, that from Pedro Porro. PSG's fifth and final taker is not Achraf Hakimi. It's Nuno Mendes. Now, goal from the Portuguese international means another trophy for Luis Enrique. Mendes against Kang-in off the bench, Ramos off the bench, denying Spurs. And in the pressure of penalties here in the north of Italy, it is Paris who party on. Mendes, who's been superb last season for Luis Enrique, steps up and smashes beyond Vicario. Heartbreak for Spurs, heartbreak for Thomas. And it's another European trophy heading back to the Parc des Princes. And Tottenham, from that memorable night in Bilbao to a sobering evening here in Udine, full time in the UEFA European Super Cup, 2-2 after 90 minutes. But it's PSG on penalties that claim the trophy. Thank you so much for joining us on a dramatic night here, and another European trophy in the pocket for Luis Enrique. We will be back this weekend, or rather we'll be back on Friday evening and this weekend for the return of the Premier League. Please join us then. It is all set to be a sensational season here on